Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Left Hook. I am your host, Mark Bland. You are listening to us on probably WIBH or KRLL, one of our news radio affiliates for CBS. And big week right now. NCAA tournaments are in St. Louis. They are going on around the world. March Madness has hit us, and I've decided... Well, he's basically a co-host at this point by de facto. There's not much I can do at this point. Please welcome to the show once again, Jason Kull.
Hello, sir.
What's going on, sir?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going fantastic. I hope you are enjoying this beautiful weather here on Saturday.
Yes, it's turned.
Now, with that being stated, I just brought up the March Madness, and you are a sports guy.
Yes.
You are into the sportage.
Yes.
And where are you at on the college basketball?
I had Arizona. I have Arizona.
You have Arizona winning it all.
All of it. Yep.
I've got Michigan.
That's a good one, too.
I'm going Michigan.
I have them in the Final Four, I'm fairly certain.
I have two brackets. I call one my golden bracket.
Yes.
That's got Michigan winning it.
And then one's just your
one
crazy
is my
upset
very
bracket.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, except
I was going to do this.
Kind of, except for I picked Florida as my national champ in that
sneaky one.
And I like that bracket. It's not because it's got this versus that or better this. That Florida choice, I feel, after watching some of this early action that's been going on in the NCAA tournament so far.
Yes.
It's a lot of parity in the world of college basketball right now. There's not teams. I mean, Arizona's a great example of a team that does stand out because they are so much better with their record right now currently. Yeah, but outside of that...
But they're just one of many teams that have been number one this year. There's been like more than a dozen teams, I think, have been number one at some point during this basketball season.
Now, I feel, and this is just me trying to, just in a general way, with you having a discussion here, the mid-majors are what are changing this. I watched Miami of Ohio play in.
Yeah.
And I watched them throw up like 40 or something threes.
If they make them.
And they were making, they weren't making all of them, but they made enough of them. They did. But yeah, that's the point. They did enough. Pieces of bologna at the wall, see how many stick. Yeah. And it worked out great.
They all stick.
Because they did enough to where it put up enough points on the board. And it was a dangerous tournament team. It was a dangerous tournament team. And here's the funny thing. What I realized is they're a 31-1 team.
Right.
They're 32-1.
Yeah.
And winners. The funny thing about that is that being like that, and by the time this airs, they might have lost again, or they might win and moved on to the next round. But to be honest, I feel that they could do okay in the tournament if they get past this first round. If they get past this first round, it'll show me what I saw in that first game was true. They are a dangerous team. That record is to be seriously paid attention to, and they can shoot, and they might win a national championship because all their problem was everyone complained, should they or shouldn't they be in the tournament, and of course they should be.
Yeah.
When they were talking about these things, they had one loss.
Yeah.
Now that I know they're a mid-major school, got it, but they only had one loss. Of course they should be in there.
I would be nervous to play them because they're a small school, but they were an at-large bid. They didn't win their tournament. Yeah, and so they're a good team.
That's what I'm saying. Like they had to earn their way to get into the main tournament. Now they're here, so they're like everyone else. Yeah. They're going to hear the whistle start the game. And that's it. The horn sounds.
They're the first team to win a game.
The horn sounds. And everybody's playing the game. So it's their job to beat the other team. So as long as they keep beating the other team, they might walk all the way to the championship. And they've got the type of team that doesn't mind if you're a tall, athletic team.
Yeah, those chuck threes.
Because they're chucking threes.
They're hanging out in the line, just do. And if they land, that's a dangerous team. If they miss them, they're horrible. They're going to get beat by 40, but
it's a good call. It's a good call. Do you know what flamper is?
I do not.
Jason, huh?
I do not.
Let me explain.
Sounds interesting.
You're tired from a long day.
Okay. I'm already there.
You're feeling it already. You're feeling it already. You're about to get into bed, sir.
Okay.
You're about to get into bed. So you take off your clothes.
Nice.
You put them on the floor.
Okay.
And next to you and fall asleep.
Okay. All right.
Those clothes are now in the flamper. The floor hamper.
Oh,
because a lot of these clothes aren't dirty, and if you are only worn it once, does it really need to get washed right away? If not, the flamper is the perfect place to store them in the meantime.
Okay.
Now, I have a hamper.
Yeah, I do.
But I have a flamper, too. Like, I'm going to be honest.
Well,
like
sometimes the hamper overflows, and
I've
the
got
leftover goes to the flamper.
I've got a flamper. No, I've just got a flamper in general. Yeah. At night, when I'm done with my clothing or whatever, I'll just throw it on the floor next to me because I'll just gather it the next day and put it down the regular hamper. Like, I'll take care of it. Instead of going, it's midnight, I'm going to drag all my clothes over to the hamper to do this right now. Like, no, I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, a flamper. That's what they call that.
That's fun.
And I hope that Donald Trump has a flamper. I hope he does. I hope he throws his clothes and his dirty diapers. His dirty diapers right there. Pants, smelly, dirty diapers right there on the floor.
And pee.
That's right. That's right. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump has been having a fun week, but so have a lot of other people. And the big story still is Iran. Iran is still like, I want to get away. I really do. Okay. It has been extremely hard getting general intel of things that are going on. They'll tell us, hey, something happened.
Yeah,
okay, here's the problem.
Cool.
Here's the problem for a lot of people in America.
It was cool.
Here's the problem. They don't understand why the Strait of Hormuz. They understand the Strait of Hormuz has goods to go through it, and that is what's stopping. And so that's creating a problem that's costing people money. They understand that, okay? Yeah, but as far as like where the war escalation is, what's going on between the factions currently, and who's doing what, because we've had LNG fields that have just lit up.
Yeah.
And now these natural gas fields have like probably first off, it was already choking off like 30 or 40% because they were losing that from the supply chain being cut off from the strait.
Blamed it on Israel.
Now,
okay, in a rage.
All right, we're going to talk about this. We'll talk about this, but ladies and gentlemen. And Jason, you will 100% understand and agree with me as we go down this road. Now, this is the left hook.
Yeah.
This is not the Q.
It is not.
This is a different show.
Yes.
And so, like, those things, though, did happen. Like, we did do those shows, and we said the things that we said on those shows. So, what I'm getting ready to tap into goes back. But we've been talking about Donald Trump and what he would or wouldn't do as president for a while, right? We did the American Purge episode in 2023. Yeah. That was talking about what if Donald Trump became president, where this could end up. By the way, does it feel like it could get down the Purge road yet? Like we've had ICE. We'll get back to it. We'll get back to it. But we'll get back to that.
Like
Don't just listen.
Just kind of like
listen. My attentions are over across the pond right now. I'll come back over here in a little bit. Just calm down.
War-torn Iran.
I'm in war-torn Iran right now. Okay. But what I wanted to bring up, ladies and gentlemen, was simply the fact that me and Jason have been talking about Donald Trump here for quite a long time. And we've had a lot to say about this man. And one thing that we have always said about Donald Trump, and we said it about his first presidency, and we said it about his second presidency, he has no skill at picking good people for positions of power.
Yeah.
Now, we're talking about Iran, specifically in this. I know where you might be wanting to go, but that's not where we're going to go. We're going to go somewhere else real quick, just for a second. But I want everybody to take a listen to this because this is Kash Patel. And we said that Kash Patel was one of those weird guys from the conspiracy world who literally shouldn't have a job as the director of FBI or anything like that. No. Just like Bongino shouldn't have. It wasn't even that Bongino was unqualified or this, that, and the other. Just, we're just keeping all the crazy as best we can away, right? We don't want Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We live in the real world.
No Steve Bannons. We don't need any Alex Jones, which, by the way, great on Donald Trump. Not as much as Alex talks about Donald, and they've probably been friends for years.
Yeah,
he hasn't done anything with giving Alex Jones anything. He hasn't pardoned him from his money issues with the Sandy Hook kids or anything like that. I can tell you that.
He's never intervened for them criminally.
We shouldn't give him any ideas, wink, wink.
He probably figure out some way to do it.
All right, so with that being stated, Kash Patel is one of those individuals, and Kash Patel was being discussed and talked to up on Capitol Hill.
Oh, boy.
Like every 3 weeks? It's about every 3 weeks. So, but it's every week we get a new couple of people that we have to pay attention to. Right now it's Bondi and Kash Patel are up on Capitol Hill.
He always goes into bro mode, too.
Yeah, he goes into bro mode. Right now there's a little hedge theft out there going on because of the war in Iran, and he's constantly, trying to put his 2 cents out there. We probably have some stuff from him, too. But this is Kash Patel. He's being grilled about the counterintelligence people that they fired in the early days of the Trump presidency. Remember when Doge went through and started just firing, and they were going through the different divisions and cutting everybody. This is him discussing the Iranian counterintelligence people. Let's take a listen.
How many days before we invaded Iran did you know we were going to launch an invasion?
We can get into those details in a classified setting, but I work with my colleagues across the spectrum here to give me advance warning so that we can reinforce.
Was it 2 days, 3 days, a month?
It was sometime before that, sir.
Sometime before that. You had done. With that knowledge, why did you fire at least a dozen agents in Counterintelligence Unit 12 that specializes in Iran counterintelligence, which makes us much less secure and safe with this war going on from Iranian attacks potentially against our country?
As I said earlier, Congressman, I don't work on timelines when these terminations occur. There are internal investigations conducted by the careers at the FBI that highlight unethical or inappropriate conduct, and it's up to me to make the decision. But our Iran Threats Mission Center has never been more resourced, as I've highlighted a 43% increase in counter-espionage arrests from Iran alone and 360 ongoing terrorism investigations with Iran-affiliated individuals.
And the people you fired, those 12 people, they were experts on Iran, were they not?
I don't believe so.
They worked in counterintelligence, did they not?
I'm taking you at your word, sir. I'm not familiar with every
You're the
single
chief
word.
director. I'm not. You should know the answer. You fired the people. Where did they work?
People were terminated for violating their ethical obligations and the high standards.
Was the ethical violations that they dealt with the case of the classified documents that were found at the bathroom in Mar-a-Lago, was that the ethical issue?
As I said earlier, all those matters are pending litigation, so I'm not going to comment on them.
All right. So Kash Patel is explaining how he doesn't know why or how or when or what was needed or what the people did.
Then you tell him, oh, you fired him because they investigated Donald Trump. Oh, is that why? Oh, man, okay.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I hate these people.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh, God.
this is going on in the middle of an Iranian war. An Iranian war is going on right now, spending billions of our dollars from our taxpayer troves.
Like a day.
All the time, constantly. Every time the Iranian war is going on, as long as it's going on, just imagine billions going out the window. That's it. That's all you got to think about. And that's your money and my money, and that's our money, and we don't need the Iranian war. Listen, I am literally going to continue to state, I don't mind what's going on with Israel. I don't really care what's going on with Iran. We live over here.
Yeah.
I care about what's going on over here and dealing with here. And we've got all this money that we can use for all these bombs and everything else. And we could be doing universal health care and taking care of people and getting homeless people taken care of and off the streets.
Yeah,
and we could be doing
$1 billion
so
a
many
day.
things. So many things, but we're not, Jason.
No, we're blowing up. You know how many towns there in? Iran's a big country. We can't just blow them up. Eventually, troops are going in. Because you can't blow them out of power. That country's too big.
Well, Benjamin Netanyahu just said that troops on the ground were obvious. Like it was going to be something that
these two are not in sync.
Right. They're not in sync but they are because it'll end up being American kids. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break here on the show. We'll be back on the Left Hook after this. Welcome back to The Left Hook. Mark Bland, your host today here. And you can find more about the show, if you would like, at markbland.net. That's markbland.net. Old episodes, new episodes, everything in between about the show, as well as, where we're located at, our home stations that we talk about all the time with WIBH, KRLL. Well, before the break, we went and we were talking about Iran.
Yeah.
And we were talking about our friend Kash Patel and the counterintelligence situation. And I made a point right before the break, and I don't want it to get misconstrued. That's why I want to talk about this a little bit, Jason. Mm-hmm. I said, hey, listen, I don't care if Israel and Iran decide that they want to wipe each other off the map.
Go for it.
I do not care, because we have the big ocean between us, and it's not because the big ocean, and that means that you shouldn't care about things. No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
No.
What I'm trying to explain is that because that big ocean is there, proximity does matter. And I'm worried more today about things that are mattering here right now than problems from over there. I understand that Donald Trump should not have gone and done anything over in Iran. In Iran, I am very sorry. Me and Jason, we are sorry people that he did that, because he didn't need to.
You need to blow up all your buildings.
And by the way, he doesn't represent everyone, does he, Jay?
No. I can still, I cannot be sorry that the Iran regime and the Ayatollah has died. And
sure, of course. No. Good things can come from bad situations, but the overall of this for the world has been bad.
And it doesn't mean that Donald Trump should have been the guy that did it.
Also, every movie's made so far, we're into the second or third week of them now messing around with this Iran situation. And at this point, every movie's made has been clumsy and not effective. It hasn't worked. He reached out to world leaders and asked them to help out. Hey, can you help me? Can you help me? And they were all like, no. You told us to go F ourselves from NATO and the UN and everything.
We don't help out.
You said we don't ever. In fact, every single time we came even independently to the White House and sat down next to you in your really yellow gold room now and had some really tacky conversation with you like the Prime Minister of Japan did.
Yeah, right.
Which we'll play that in a second. My point being is every time we did that, even then you would make reference to the fact that we don't pay our fair share and we need to do better as a nation and this, that, and you were constantly doing it. And then you pushed Canada out of the window, and it's just
What do you think the odds are that he drops a Moab?
Moab on Iran?
Because he wants to.
What's that do? But what's that do?
I think he'll think he's going to shock them into
shock him into what? But here's the
surrendering.
Thing. How much damage can the Moab do?
It can tear up some stuff. I don't know if they would.
How many city blocks or city?
It's
here's the problem with Hiroshima and all that. You're talking a couple 100,000 people get incinerated immediately. That's a hydrogen bomb or that's the
those are ones that are massive. I don't know what
the nuclear bomb. That's what I'm saying. That's the nuclear bomb when they drop the nuclear bomb. That's
hide the keys from him.
250,000 people like that, dude. And then it's all the extra damage from the blowout, the wind, and the mushroom cloud, and all the damage from all the fallout afterwards. You're talking whole cities that are getting taken out.
And over
Moab, do you think it could take out most of St. Louis downtown?
Probably.
You think so?
Probably. They dropped one on Syria, but it was an uninhabited area.
They dropped one on Syria in an uninhabited area, and nobody even noticed. And the country of Syria still has borders and everything's fine.
Blew up an airfield with nobody there.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, now, Kash Patel is an idiot. And Donald Trump's a moron for all the moves that he's been making. And he's put these idiots in power. People like Lutnick.
Right.
That weird guy.
He hasn't even found Virginia Guthrie.
Yeah.
He hasn't found her. It's been over a month.
Well, I just find it really interesting that we have all of these things that we were working on with the Epstein files.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're really worried about Iran a lot, which is fine. But that's, once again, as we discussed on this show when this war first popped off, that's not very America first.
Yes.
That's not really helping out the United States of America. And there's a lot of people like farmers right now that are hurting because this man has basically jumped their prices 200% across the board, and they can't keep up. And their supply chains are now cut down because they need fertilizers and other things like that, where they get specific grains and things like that from different parts of the world, and all that's cut down now. So it's like, it's crazy.
There are two things that Donald Trump's doing right now, and they're both for the same reason. Iran, following Israel, is for Epstein, but this SAVE Act is also because of Epstein, because he does not want to lose the House. If he loses the House, Epstein becomes unredacted.
Right.
And we'll see it.
Right, guys. Guys, listen. The Donald Trump experiment is over. Yes. I really do believe. I'm sorry. We were talking off the air.
We found out he was horribly flawed from the beginning.
Right. Well, we knew for the last 10 years that he's been horribly flawed. But this last sale when it was the 2024 election, the same rules as the 2020 election, the same rules as the 2016 election.
Yes.
And he won the 2016 election, same rules.
Yeah.
And then he won and then he lost the 2020 election to Joe Biden, same rules. Yeah. And then he won the 2024 election, same rules. Yeah. So that right there shows you consistency with the same rules. He won 2 of those. Yeah. That he ran, and he lost 1 that he ran for. And that's it. That's too bad. And we understand that makes him feel bad.
It shows his mental illness.
With that being stated, when he won his second one, he decided he wanted to try to do some things. But now it's costing us billions of dollars in taxpayer money. It has gotten people killed. It has gotten people maimed and hurt. It has literally turned the United States upside down. Everybody is in an unhappy mood for the most part. He keeps trying to put a smile on and keep trying to tell the world that everything's going fine.
Well, and every neighborhood bomb creates a 19-year-old terrorist everywhere over there.
But I'm just saying, Jay, like, in general, like...
I mean, it's just...
But it's... We were talking off the air. It's exhausting.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's exhausting. And because it's exhausting, we don't always want to have to talk about politics all the time. Sometimes, because right now, with the Iran war, I can talk about it over and over and over, but there's literally nothing changing.
He does other stuff, too.
He does other stuff, too.
Like you were talking... world leaders.
You were talking about the SAVE Act just a second ago. You talking about the SAVE Act. That's a perfect example. Ladies and gentlemen, we should all say no to the SAVE Act.
No.
Okay? A lot of states... Listen, in Missouri, where we live in St. Louis... We have to show our IDs to vote. They take our ID. It's got a scan code on the back of it. They scan the code in, and then it automatically pulls our stuff up in the state computers and all that, and then we go vote. Yeah. And we use paper ballot, actually. I actually use a paper ballot to do it. So it's even the paper ballots that he wants. Remember, he can't have computers. He can't have this. But Elon knows computers really well, and he's got it all figured out, so it'll be fine.
Right? He knew 5 hours before that.
Exactly.
Trump won.
Like, guys, Donald Trump is really trying to hold on, and that SAVE Act is the perfect example of what he's going to do. They're just trying to, they're talking about, if you don't understand, listen, there it is. If you don't understand the gerrymandering aspect, it's the easiest way to understand the SAVE Act and whether you like it or not. Have you heard about Texas and how they've gerrymandered their seats to where they're all for Republicans now? Like, that was a big deal. Like, the state of Texas went through and changed the state law to where they could choose a new border for all the different constituencies, and then that was able to put certain groups into certain sections and other groups, they could choose their boundary lines, and all of a sudden now only Republicans could win those areas, and it was all Republicans that were going to represent those areas.
And people that support that, what Texas did, I don't think they come from a place of where they think like Texas were allowed to do that.
Right.
So California doing it, that's bad because they did it because Texas did it. And that's the only part they're accurate about, because they did it because Texas did what they did for no reason at all.
Well, it was a counterbalance across. Remember, this country is, what is the Supreme Court?
Yes.
What is the 3 branches of they have checks and balances,
that's
correct?
What they're doing.
And it's designed to be that way. So we have checks and balances in life, guys.
Getting extra seats, so he wins.
The Japanese culture showed you guys many, 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 many centuries ago the yin and the yang. For every yin, there's a yang. For every black, there's a white. It's natural. For every boy, there's a girl. Like, do you understand?
Wow.
Maybe there's a girl and a girl. Maybe there's a boy and a boy. I don't know.
Is Trump the yang, and what's the yang?
I don't know.
The yang must be
probably on an island.
The yang must be a near infallible person.
It's probably on an island somewhere off the coast of Florida. That's all I'm saying.
The opposite of Trump must almost be God, because Trump is the most flawed human being on earth.
All right. So, counterterrorism people were getting fired by our friend Kash Patel.
Yeah.
And he made his little comments. We played him earlier on the show. And it's funny to me because we've been talking about choosing bad people to be in positions of power.
Right.
And then they're doing dumb things that don't make any sense. And then many months go by, and here we are in the next year, right? Like that happened a year ago.
Yep.
Here we are a year later, right? Because remember, guys, it's March now. It's March. We're past St. Patrick's Day. It's the middle of March. So he had already been in office for 2 months at this point last year.
Yeah,
and he had already done some Doge stuff and all the stuff that you didn't like.
We're also a quarter of the way through his second year.
That's what I'm saying. We're here right now, and we're talking about with Kash Patel on Capitol Hill, and he can't answer any of the questions. He doesn't know any of the people. He doesn't know any of the things. But because of this counterintelligence group that handles Iranian intelligence specifically, that might have helped in what we decided to do. Because see, guys, remember, I'm just a radio show host, and you guys are just listeners.
I'm just a caveman.
Well, no, I'm just a guy with one vote, and you're just a guy with one vote.
Yes.
And together we try to influence and tell people what we think they should do. But at the end of the day, we're just one person, and we can't fight the whole world by ourselves.
No.
And so I'm not going to be able to stop Donald Trump from doing the Iranian war by myself. He's already taken our stuff and gone and done it. But I still don't think, as a human being and an adult who's getting ready to turn 50, that you should have chosen Donald Trump as your leader. No. I think that was a bad decision. And I think that these results that you're seeing right now are proof in the pudding that I was 100% right, and that Jason was 100% right, and that many people were 100% right. Kamala Harris was 100% right.
She told you, and everything's happening.
She did. She told you literally word by word.
And if you would say, well, there would be a lot more illegal immigrants, I would take more illegal immigrants than those two completely innocent people being murdered in Minneapolis.
Let's take a listen to this, Jason. This is our friend Donald Trump with the Prime Minister of Japan.
Dead brain man.
Almost over. Why is the Pentagon going to ask Congress for an additional $200 billion?
Well, we're asking for a lot of reasons beyond even what we're talking about in Iran. This is a very volatile world, and the military equipment, the power of some of this weaponry is unthinkable. You don't even want to know about it. You could end this thing in 2 seconds if you wanted to, but we are being very judicious. But we want to do. Don't forget, Biden gave away. I rebuilt the military my first term. Biden gave away so stupidly to Afghanistan a lot. He didn't want to move it. He was too lazy, too stupid to move it. But it was a very small amount. It was a lot, but it was very small relative to what I purchased.
It was a lot, but it was small.
We want to have vast amounts of ammunition, which we have right now. We have a lot of ammunition, but it was taken down by giving so much to Ukraine. They gave so much. Biden gave $350.
So much to Ukraine.
They gave it so much.
So much
help
to
them
Ukraine.
Fight a war against my friend who invaded them.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
He's just a jerk.
Right? Later on, he says,
"Let me pick a beautiful person from Japan. A question for the Prime Minister. Go ahead." Yeah, sure. Oh, he doesn't believe he's beautiful. Oh, he's sounding shy. Go ahead, please.
Of course, no. Japan and US are very good friends. But one question: why didn't you tell US allies in Europe and Asia, like Japan, about the war before attacking Iran? So we are very confused about we Japanese citizens.
Well, one thing, you don't want to signal too much. When we go in, we went in very hard. And we didn't tell anybody about it because we wanted surprise. Who knows better about surprise than Japan? Okay, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor? Okay?
Yeah, why didn't you tell me about Pearl Harbor?
Hang on, racist man.
Fair enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break here on this show. When we come back, more with myself and Jason. We'll be back right after this.
You cut out a piece of me.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Left Hook. Mark Bland, Jason Kull, hanging out with you on the show. We take our time, to hang out with you. Big NCAA weekend we talked about. I'm going to be going to the games after this show, so it's going to be fun for me. I'll let you guys know how my experience was down there. But the Missouri Valley Conference, Mike Kerner, those guys do a great job. So I should be pleasantly surprised, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. And I don't know. But before we get to that, we've got the rest of our show to do, and that there's more going on than Iran, right?
Yeah, there's other stuff.
There is the people that want you to bring back dirt wheat. Dirt wheat, that's right. We should all bring back dirt wheat. That's always a good thing. I asked people if there was something they wanted to bring back from the past, and a few people answered nothing of any major sort, except for one person said they wanted to bring back dirt wheat. And I'm like, why would you want to bring back dirt wheat? Like, I don't.
It's found weed.
Well, I'm just saying, like, what's the point of doing that? I'm just saying with dirt weed, what's the point of doing that? Like, does that seem like it's going to have any value in the long run?
No.
We got great weed now, right?
Yeah,
like, we have whole stores of great weed now.
You need to stumble upon free weed in the forest.
Now, Jason, you've had jobs in the past?
I
right?
have.
And the guys on BuzzFeed, okay?
Yes.
They asked people to share the biggest red flags that someone at work is pretending to be smarter than they really are. So, like, people who you're trying to, like, flop their way through the job.
Like,
you know what I'm
saying? They heard something on the radio and they're going to say it to you. And instantly get put down because they don't have a comeback.
Now, here are some of the signs
Yes.
that your coworker has no idea what they're doing, okay? This is it.
Yes.
All right? Number 1. If they don't shut up about themselves.
Yeah, that could be hot.
Careful of anyone who constantly brags about their education or experience but never actually finishes their own tasks. And that's a good call.
I always brag about how dumb I am.
But I was a braggart to an extent. I was a braggart, and at times I'm sure that education or experience was the brag, depending on the person. But I always finish my tasks, too. Like, I always put in my work. I might be a bragger. I might be loud, and I didn't shut up about myself. But that didn't necessarily mean I didn't know what I was doing. If they love to schedule endless meetings,
that could be annoying.
I have met those people. Yeah. Those people do exist.
Some
in
people
their
like
life,
to be in touch.
Well, listen, their life is constant, long, dragged out, however you want to say it. Just things like their lunch meetings they go a little bit longer, right? Hey, let's just sit here and let me sip my brandy for about 15 to 20 minutes before we actually go order lunch. Sit down and actually talk while I'm eating. I'm gonna get a thing of brandy, and I'm only halfway done with it when food is over with, and I'm just sitting there thinking, how long before I can leave the meeting that's been going on for an hour and a half to 2 hours already?
What was it Norm Macdonald said?
Those people.
People who eat lots of bread at restaurants. It's like, have you ever at home sat down and just had a loaf of bread before you eat dinner?
That's a good point. Like, those people are really odd.
Like, you don't do that at home.
You don't do that at home. Like,
just start buttering bread at home, just shovel it for every meal. Maybe like a pasta meal you might, but not every meal.
I don't know. Listen, also, Italian restaurants. I don't know what it is you guys got it into your head that bread with some butter.
And pastas?
Bread. Well, I'm just saying bread has to be like, listen, I like it when you guys get all like a little creative, right? You give me a little balsamic vinegar. You give me a little bit of the olive oil. Yeah. You give me some Parmesan cheese grated into it. And then you take that and you mix it all together and it makes like a sweet and savory tart little kind of concoction that you can like eat with the bread. And now bread has an additional feel and vibe to it where you're like, oh, this is great.
Mix that
like
with
it
some
tastes
of that salad
good.
And Olive Garden's a
well,
good,
I'm just saying,
time.
Exactly. Well, and by the way, Olive Garden, perfect example of how you handle the bread the right way. You make bread sticks.
Yeah.
You don't do bread as far like where I have to
salad.
butter like a piece of bread. Yeah. Like I'm eating cake. It's like eating like thin pieces of cake almost.
Now you can buy like a half a gallon of Olive Garden dressing in the stores. Remember in the old days when you'd have to get a glass bottle because you'd buy it from them when you left?
Jason, I'm seeing patterns starting to develop with our list here. Number 3, if they are the loudest person in the room, be wary of them.
That could almost be that second one.
Usually they're just repeating someone else's idea and acting as if it was their own.
That's almost just like the other one.
Number 4, if they can't handle their emotions. If their only response to anything going wrong is blaming people and getting angry or, I don't know, like going into a room, grabbing like an RPG launcher, wrapping it around you, walking out into a hallway, pulling 2 Desert Eagles out and showing them off how golden they are. This doesn't look crazy.
Look at me.
Weird emotional issues you can't handle. It's just craziness. That's the craziness going on in life right there.
Put on my tactical vest.
Tactical vest. They don't.
38.
If they ever start a sentence with, I asked Grok about it. Listen, you know what one of my favorite stories,
one of the worst ones,
you know what one of my favorite political stories of the last week was? Yeah. Honestly, it was the story about how Elon Musk and them were being deposed, I guess, behind the scenes.
Yeah.
In regards to Doge, and they were doing a lot of the release. They released some of the interviews they did with some of the different people, which was crazy. Man. Crazy. They were just completely didn't care at all.
So they
were literally, our only job was to just find $2 trillion in debt. That was it.
He's like, we're supposed to balance the budget or reduce the deficit.
They didn't care if people lost their jobs. And they even asked them, and families were torn apart by it. Nope, didn't care.
They asked him, did you reduce it? And he's like, no, we didn't.
Yeah, when it was all said and done, they asked him, nope,
Loser,
he did.
Man.
And okay, so while all that's going on, right?
Yep.
What were we talking about? Elon, right?
Yeah, he's being deposed in this case. He was one of them.
Yeah.
We saw the guy.
I'm trying to remember. I lost my train of thought. We just got off onto all the Doge guys doing their bro stuff.
Well, you said it was for the Doge. Elon was one of them. He got deposed as well.
Yeah, well, it was in regards to the story you were telling. What were you telling before this? You were talking about something right before this. I don't know. Now, this is horrible radio because I've completely lost my train of thought because there's so much going on with the damn Donald Trump stuff.
Well,
I can't remember about bros and Doge and this and that.
Bro Kavanaugh kid. He's become famous now because his deposition's the one that made the rounds where he had to admit they didn't even do what they were supposed to do.
Is he related to Brett Kavanaugh?
It's a C.
It would be great if he was, though.
He's just a broed out red pill jerk, That's all they are.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I was going somewhere with all that, but I have no idea where that is going now, and so we are just lost, and we're going to move forward.
Now we're over here.
We're just going to move forward with the show and not worry about that. But yeah, this is this list of people not knowing what to do. It's kind of a little on the spot about me. If they ask, I remember what I was talking about with the Elon thing. So in the Elon deposition, ladies and gentlemen, with this whole stuff that was going down, they started talking about how Chat GPT, he was even the Kavanaugh, that we asked Chat GPT what we needed to go in and fix, and they would just use whatever it told them to do to go in and do. But that sounded weird to me. The first time I heard it, it sounded weird to me. It was the depositions that were coming out from the Doge team, and the Doge team was made of big balls and all the bro kids. Now, big balls and all the bro kids don't call themselves big balls and the bro kids for a reason. They've got reasons, like Dirty Mike and the boys. They got a reason, okay? They're going to do something with that squirrel in the back seat later on, okay? Calm down. Just relax.
Dirty Mike and the boys.
Great movie. Other guys. It's a great movie. All right. Now, so my point being, when I heard this, I was like, why would Elon, who's going to be doing all this Doge stuff, right? Why would Elon, who owns Twitter and created his own super artificial intelligence named Grok, And the bros that come from the Twitter world that he found big balls in and pulled them with his grok abilities.
Right? They're using OpenAI.
Why would they use OpenAI to do Doge stuff? They probably were using grok.
I think it would.
Most likely, ladies and gentlemen, they were using grok. So they were even lying, I feel, in these depositions about what they were using. Because I'm going to be honest with you. I've used OpenAI and I've used grok. And it doesn't matter whether it's ChatGPT or grok. What I do get in difference is grok and ChatGPT will both give me the answers.
Yeah.
When I get the answers from ChatGPT,
grok's free, I guess.
It's a little bit more librarian in the way that it presents me.
That's my favorite.
Listen, you like ChatGPT?
Yeah.
I don't mind ChatGPT. It just presents me the information a little bit more librarian. And when it breaks things down, I don't think it necessarily goes and searches and analyzes in the same way that grok does. When I use grok, it goes out, it gets what I'm looking for. It does background analysis. I do read through the analysis. It does a good job of doing that. So
tell ChatGPT that's what you want it to do. It'll give you 2 results.
I want you to do exactly what grok does.
I just tell it you want 2 results to choose from, how they look. It does it all the time. It'll ask me, do I want it read like this or this? And I can get it broken down that way.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, far be it for me to have our friend Jason Kull on the show and not want him to discuss with me the Oscars. Did you see the Oscars, sir?
I was in and out. I mean, I saw mostly who won.
And that's about it. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's how important.
I'm just kind of losing.
That's how
shows to me just are losing.
That's how important the Oscars have become. Like I used to talk about. My extent of the Oscars now is I'll find out what movies were nominated.
Yes.
And win.
Maybe go check them out. Maybe not.
And if it wins, I might go check it out. And if it doesn't win, it's not that I think that the Oscars is the ultimate version of this, that, or the other. Yeah. But what I will tell you is this. Over the years, when the Oscars have a Best Picture winner, typically when I see the movie, it's pretty good.
Yes.
It's not always like Chocolat wasn't necessarily what I wanted to see. But it was no Crash.
No.
It was no Training Day and things like that. No. But at the same point, solid movies. There were decent movies in the mix over the years. It wasn't always just horrible movies or anything like that. So it's always given me a pretty solid movie.
I think it is the older you get, at least for me, the older I get, the less I care about who wins awards. And I mean, it got to the point where some of the times in the Oscars, when they stopped doing it, when they stood around and just said nice things about each other when they got their awards, that was cringe.
I think it's time for us to get out of here on the show, but I think a big theme on this episode of the Left Hook is the fact that, one, we were exhausted. We're exhausted by the politics.
And old.
The fact that weeks have gone by with the same political stories and we don't have a change, and it's just exhausting in that regards. Now, number two. It is one of those things where ladies and gentlemen, we are at a crossroads as people. We are not having things taken care of in our homeland right now. Donald Trump is not America first. He is not doing any of the MAGA stuff that he claimed is Agenda 47 stuff. He's not doing anything. He's doing Donald Trump first. And because that's not happening, we've got high prices on things. We've got the Strait of Hormuz, which is an issue for the whole world. Everything was in harmony and it was fine. And the United States was the number one dog. And everybody was working with us. And we had allies. And we were and now we don't have any of it. And now we feel alone. I feel alone. And I feel a lot more isolated than I ever have before. And I'll tell you, it's not necessary.
No.
It's not necessary. Jason, thank you so much for being on this episode of The Left Hook. I appreciate that. Is there anything you want to tell me?
I got nothing going on, no.
Got nothing going on? That's okay. Maybe we'll figure out something coming up soon.
Maybe some stuff will go
Hey, listen, we made a lot of prognostications for the upcoming year. There's the chance for more bloodshed to happen is possible, but we seem to have nailed bloodshed with him every single year. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, you can find me on Twitter at Mark Bland, or you can check me out, markbland.net. That's going to do it for us on this episode of the show. We will see you guys next time on The Left Hook.
Kinda mad that I didn't take a step.